And to enlighten us about this important and interesting subject, we have two experts who are currently working in the legal domains of IT industries, and they are here as resource persons with us today for the panel discussion. The guest speakers are Amruta Dhadpaye ma'am from Persistent Systems and Priyanka Sharangpani-Joshi ma'am from Hanover Investors. Before starting the discussion, let me give a brief introduction of both the speakers. Amruta Dhadpaye ma'am has completed her BSL LLB degree from ILS Law College in the year 2008. She has pursued the Masters in Law from University of Warwick, United Kingdom in International Corporate Governance and Financial Regulation. Previously, ma'am has worked as an associate at Fox Mandal Little, as a legal lead at KPIT Technologies Limited, and since 2016, she is working at Persistent Systems, wherein currently she is the Senior Group Counsel.
With COVID, everything changed, including this program. IT industry changed, how we work changed. But remote working is not new to us. In IT industry, it's actually remotely that we have been doing work for the US clients or the European clients. It's just with COVID, everybody was forced to sit at home instead of office. So remote working is not new. With COVID, few things bettered themselves. One of them is IT industry. Because with COVID, with forced remote working, a lot of technology has to advance. We had to adapt to new challenges. So remote working is here to stay. With that, IT industry is here to grow. And the opportunities that are in the industry for legal professionals. I believe all of us are legal professionals or about to be legal professionals, right? And all of you are final year students, or there is a mix? It's a mix. Okay, great. So just so you know, the opportunities are immense. My current job is a fully remote job. So you can imagine how much of an opportunity or sea of opportunities is open for all of us. You can be placed anywhere. My colleagues are placed everywhere around the world, and we work for a firm which is based in the UK. But as the opportunities grow, so does the competition. So I compete for a remote job with a person sitting in Spain or Canada. It's not just your local competition anymore. With this in mind, please, if you're looking at a career in IT, start grooming yourselves for that. For example, act of God, the clause that we all add in the contract and never pay attention to that. And that became the crux of all the contracts in 2020. All of us had to go back to contracts and open that clause and see if we can get some benefit out of it. We can run away from some liabilities or push some liabilities on the opposite party. So that is how it keeps evolving even within IT. What I basically wanted to convey to all of you today is something that I wish I had known when I joined IT. So it is something that as hiring managers, we look up to in the candidates that come our way. I have been a hiring manager. I have interviewed people. I have assessed people during the pandemic remotely, hired them, onboarded them, trained them during the pandemic, and even before that. Basic thing that we all look for is communication skills. Because with remote working, communication becomes the most important part. And as lawyers, we all know that is the most important part. Be it verbal, be it written. And in IT, the challenge is we can't talk like lawyers. We have studied like lawyers, we draft like lawyers, but we can't talk like lawyers because the stakeholders are non-lawyers. So they will expect us to simplify it for them, tell them what are the consequences, don't tell me what is the clause. So that is the expectation. So what we look for in a candidate is good, clear, crisp communication skills. Mostly as freshers, what you would see is a written assessment being done, which is a mix of English, logic, and drafting skills. That's how we used to do it, to filter out the candidates or eliminate the candidates. After that comes a technical round, where again you will be judged on how quick you are, how clear you are. So these are the assessments or the interview process that you will typically see in an IT setup. Because once you are in the team, nobody has time to groom you on all these aspects. So this is expected to be already present in all of you. The next thing we see is basic legal concepts, whether they're clear or not. For example, if you're going in an IT company for an interview, we will not be asking you about, say, for example, Maharera. What are the provisions of RERA Act? Because that is not relevant. So it's up to you to prepare yourselves in a relevant legal domain. What are the IT contracts? What are the main legal clauses in that? Forget the technical and business clauses. Do you know liability, indemnity, non-compete, confidentiality? These are the clauses that we ask you typically, that whether you are aware of it or not. Your answers can be wrong, but if you're not aware, then you are again eliminated. These are the basics that we expect. Third most important thing, and I'm really focusing on basics here because that's what we look for in freshers. So don't worry, nobody's going to ask you to directly negotiate a contract. But we should have that comfort that, okay, you can be groomed to become that lawyer. Third is basic technical know-how, to be able to use Microsoft Word confidently. How we negotiate red line contracts is in track mode. Most of the world uses that. Do you know that? Can you use that? So get well acquainted with these basic softwares, Microsoft Word, Outlook, Excel. Excel probably not immediately, but once you become a manager, that becomes your tool to go to create reports out of your work. So these are the basics that we look for. Nobody has time to teach you how to organize a meeting. Again, it's an IT industry, it's a remote setup. Few of you people are in Pune, others are in the US. Manager will tell you set up a meeting and you're lost. And I have seen this happen to people. That is why I'm telling from the experience that these are basic things which put you on a back foot, that you suddenly lose your confidence that I don't know and I don't know whom to ask to. So get a hang of all these aspects. After that, I think it is all about how you show your interest in. I missed one point actually in terms of basic laws. So can any of you quickly tell me which has been your least favorite subject in your law? Because that is going to be very important for you. That is not relevant for IT, no. I understand, but not relevant for IT. I think you all know the subject, you have all disliked it, we have all ignored it, and that's labor laws. Unfortunately, that becomes the most important topic at times because HR will ask you, what do I do with POSH? And you don't know. You've never studied it. How do I create a register of payment of wages, payment of gratuity? And these are the real registers that real companies have to maintain. It is not in the textbooks. The forms that we all ignore at the end of the BEAR Act, they are all relevant. So they will all become relevant for you. Labor laws, employment contracts, employment disputes, disciplinary process, all of this is part and parcel of an IT company. It will come to in-house legal counsel. So again, I would urge you to at least take some interest in those laws. I know none of us have studied, but here is your chance. And when you go for the interview, please do your basic research about the company. Don't just walk in. Please do your basic research. If the company is in IT product domain, if it is in services domain, what are the key problems? There is ample information available online. The interviewer will be disappointed if you don't know the basics. Because your questions should come from the point of relevance. You can't be asking about something that is completely outside, even probably the interviewer wouldn't know. Because he or she doesn't work in that domain. So please do your basic research. Information that is freely available. There are no excuses to be made about not knowing it. So this is what we expect as interviewers from you. And I don't think it is just IT, any corporate law job, this is what you will need. Next thing that I wanted to put across is what you can expect from IT industry when you join it as freshers. Please have realistic expectations about your job. Social media is full of all the idealistic stuff, work-life balance, 9-to-5 jobs, the managers are gods. It's not so. So on your first day, in your first month, if you're asked to wait in office at 8 o'clock for a call with a US client, please be okay with it. It can't be 9 to 5. If you want remote, if you want to be part of a global workforce, you can't say my job is 9 to 5. It can be any time. Have realistic expectations. Manager is not your teacher. So give that manager some scope. You do your own research. Show your enthusiasm. Manager is supposed to help, I agree, but he or she is not going to spend a lot of time on you. So realistic expectations on your part will help your life easy, will lessen your disappointment. You will also get to do basic documentation initially. It will not be complex deals. You will not be part of board meetings. You will do NDA reviews. It's an important document, but generally not negotiated. So you will do basic reviews. You will probably map purchase orders with the master service agreement, for example. So this is the work you will get. Again, don't be disappointed by the quality of work. The faster you learn these things, the faster you will grow to the next level. But everybody has to do the dirty job. We have all done that, and that is how we have gone to the next level, so to say. The third thing is, again, willingness to work in different time zones. This also applies when you're hunting for a job. There are few IT companies whose legal teams work in different time zones. So if your stakeholders are in UK time zone, the legal team will start the work in UK time zone. They will start the work in afternoon and work till late evening. So that is another, if you're comfortable with that, there are opportunities out there for that. Be okay with it. LPOs are also similarly placed, but within IT also there are companies which offer you flexi work timing. So that is something that you can expect from the industry. In terms of the opportunities that you will have, IT is a broad term. Within that, there is a lot of variety. Start anywhere and you can go from there. Don't be picky or choosy about it initially, that I will work with a product company or I'll only work with a startup because they pay hefty salaries. But startup will generally not have a legal person on board, and they will not have a legal vision at all. So your job will be in jeopardy. Go for any company that has a set legal team which knows what to expect from a legal person. There are, again, as I said, product companies which are SaaS-based or licensing companies within IT. There are IT service providers like Persistent or my previous company. There are LPOs. Then there are legal tech companies. Actually, I wanted to tell Sai, she presented so well that you can actually try in a legal tech company. You're probably a salesperson for a contract lifecycle management company already. So that's one avenue that is upcoming. She has really very well documented the entire thing. That is one avenue that is upcoming. You can try there as interns also. You'll get to know the softwares also. The information is available online. There are YouTube videos on the demos. Go see them. It will only help you. There is data privacy as a separate branch of law that is coming in. As in, there are privacy professionals. It's not just us who work on it on the job and then learn. There are privacy professionals. There are certifications available. So go for them. They are expensive, but if possible, at least learn about it, because privacy is going to be the next big thing. Since data became oil, data privacy became the next big thing for us. There is a lot of new things coming up like ESG. I'm just throwing names because I have less time. I have to give the mic to Amruta also, but probably you can note it down, do your own research and have a perspective about what new avenues you have. And again, the tools that I mentioned are all freely available. So don't limit yourself to your curriculum. In IT industry, nothing in our curriculum actually helps because everything is fast moving. Our curriculum is obviously, I don't know how many years behind. So use Google. There are drafts available online. You can read them. There are end user license agreements. The thing that we click, I accept. All those are very interesting agreements and those are drafted by us. So please read them. What is the license? What are the restrictions? Then there are forums, websites, legal blogs, fantastic resources online. There are YouTube channels of lawyers. There are Telegram groups of lawyers where there are broadcasts about different things of contract, employment law. Pick your field and just be part of it. That will give you confidence when you're appearing for interviews. You will have content to speak about. Then LinkedIn is your best friend. You can be the content creator actually, because nobody stops you. And then there are amazing lawyers who are creating content on a daily basis for us to consume. So go through it, start commenting, start networking, and that is how probably you will get picked. Don't rely on conventional methods to be picked by the IT industry. It's really very dynamic. Just go for it. And again, the websites that we use, for example, data privacy, as I mentioned, if you're not going to do the course, you have the material readily available on any website. Scroll down to the bottom, you will see privacy policy or a cookie policy or website terms and conditions. And that's there. It's readily available for you to just open, read and understand. What you don't understand, go and Google. And there you have your data privacy. That's about it. So it's really as simple as that. IT industry is fast evolving. Nobody will come and teach you. Nobody comes and teaches us. We learn on the job most of the times because it's that fast. So with this, I think I'm going to close. If you have any questions about what I've just spoken, as Mukta said, please send them through. And I think I'll just wish you good luck and thanks SCLC for inviting me, inviting Amrita and having us here. I hope I helped somewhat. I was really fast because I had too many points to cover, and there is much more that I can actually have, I could have actually told you.